Okay, so with so many of these guys going away for week-long tournaments or weekend-long tournaments, it's probably appropriate at this point that we put together a recovery video to bring you back to neutral before you come back into the gyms and pick up where you left off with some of the lifts that we're doing, especially some of the technical lifts where your mobility and your recovery are so important. We're not just coming into the gym and just doing these general workouts where we're bench pressing, just loading up weights and going through the motions. Everything we're doing is super technical, and we talk about recovery a ton. And so this is a video that is put together to help you get back to neutral so you can, before you get back into the gym. So there's going to be 3 sets of 3 exercises that are more dynamic movements to get you warm up, get your heart rate going, and create that elasticity, and then we'll work into some static stretches, okay? So you've done all these before in the past, I'm sure, so I'll rip through them. And what's most important to understand is that some of these you may feel a little bit tighter than you do on others, and so if you do, you can repeat some of the ones that you feel a little bit, that you're feeling a little bit achy or sore, or your mobility is compromised. You should know that at this point. So you can repeat that stretch or hold that stretch a little bit longer, or just do more repetitions of that until you loosen back up. And so take what I'm saying as kind of a routine, but also I want you to make it yours. Go through it and tweak it to whatever you feel you need to specifically address where you need attention. Okay, that's the most important part of this routine here. So first we're going to do side shuffles. So super easy, not much to it. 10 over and 10 back. You can go outside in your driveway and do all this stuff. 10 steps over. I'm only doing a few so I can stay in your camera there. But 10 over and 10 back. Do that maybe 5 or 6 times. The next time next set, you're gonna add basically the same thing, but we're gonna squat. Nice and easy, back, and then change directions. So go again, 10 one way, come 10 back, okay? And then you're gonna do a side stretch where we're opening up our legs, and we're going real long with the inside leg here, feet pointed straight ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then skip. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip again. And then you'll do 10 one way, then come back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip. Okay, go right back down again. Make sure this leg is long and your feet are pointed straight ahead. See how tall my shoulders are? My hips are down. That's super important there. So run through 3 sets of those. Go back to the side shuffles back and forth, okay? Get those abductors and adductors working, inner and outer thighs, okay? Then go on to the next one. We've done a million times. Skips, kicks, kick, kick. 10 on each leg. Make sure you're tall. Reach out in front, keep your legs straight. Reach across your body, get your torso moving a little bit. And then we're gonna do crossover. So bring one foot over the other, one foot over your other foot, and you're gonna go side, center, side, just back and forth, but you're really rotating at your shoulders. So I'm gonna go down, side, center, side. And you can see I have a little bit of a bounce here, but I'm not overly pushing myself down. I'm just think of it as a rubber band, and I'm just kind of loosening up that rubber band, nice and easy, and just pulling back and forth. And that's hitting the different heads of your hamstring by rotating your shoulders around. Then you go to the other leg. Do about 15. So I'll cross over again, and I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now if I notice that one area is a little bit tighter than the other, I can just hold it there for an extra second or two. Get a little more stretch out of that, and then just continue on. But put a little mark in your head there that was tight, and you can go back to it later for more static stretching. okay? And then the third one we're gonna do, let me just make sure this is tipped down for the third round, okay? We've done this before too. I'd like you guys to do this before any shooting that we're gonna do. Your knees are at 90 degrees. My top hand is on top of my top knee, and I'm reaching over and back. All the way over and all the way back. So this is for the middle of your back, your thoracic spine, and all the muscles that work in the middle of your back, the thoracic area, and your hips. All that trunk movement, okay? So maybe 10 of those on each side. And then this is a little bit more of a yoga routine where we're gonna get into a perfect push-up position, okay? Perfect push-up position, and I'm just gonna push my chest to my toes and my hips up in the air. Hold for a sec, and then I'm gonna come down. My knees aren't gonna touch the floor here. I'm gonna pull my shoulder blades back. You don't wanna shrug your shoulders to your ears. Pull your shoulder blades back, hold for another 3 or 4 count, and then I'm gonna drop my knees, I'm gonna release my toes, and I'm gonna stretch long, get your hips back to your heels, and keep your arms out front. And then I'll reset my plank, push, shoulders back, and reach back, okay? So this back area, all 3 of those, we're really working the pliability in your spine, all the muscles that go into your spine. So we did the first 2 sets, really focused on your inner thighs, your outer hips, your quadriceps, your hamstrings. But now we're starting to get the back mobility is working here, and especially for hockey, all that shooting and twisting, you need to really keep that loose and keep that mobility on point. Then we're gonna go reverse lunge, reach up, stretch to the hip flexor, A-step, stiff leg deadlift, push this back leg straight, and back down. You can alternate, you can do the same side, whatever you feel more comfortable with, but you're gonna hit about 5 of these on each side, okay? So again, reverse lunge and stretch, knee, A-step, push that leg back and squeeze your butt, okay? Make sure your hips don't open at there. You just keep your hips down in that back foot. See my back foot? It's pointed straight down, not out to the side. Straight down, okay? Always good posture there, okay? And then we'll do a set of spider steps, which we know. Big step up, drop your elbow down, step back, drop your elbow down. And after your second or third set of these, or after your first or second set, you can add the twist. And again, more back mobility there as well. So from there, you got those 3, do 3 sets of each of those. Then you can move on to your static stretching, which is obviously, my favorite is putting your back leg up here, keeping your hips tall, squeezing your butt, and just lunging forward just a tad so we feel that where the hip flexor and the quadricep line up here towards the top of the hip, okay, or bottom of the hip. So we can even reach up, but make sure we don't arch the back, okay? Keep the back in line, not overarch it, and squeeze your butt in, okay? That's one of the more important ones. And then up against the wall, pretend I have a wall here. I'm leaning up against, I lift my butt, and shoot your hips back to the wall, okay? Again, hold these. Now you're in static mode, so now you can hold these for about a minute at a time, okay? Make sure if you feel like you have a tighter side, you put a little extra attention to that. We have a hurdler stretch. Bring one foot in, reach out, okay? Both sides, hit both sides. Again, a minute on each side. And there's no perfect recipe to how you put this together or what you address more than the other. It's all about needs, so you need to assess your need, okay? I'm just kind of guiding you along here. One that I love is I'm gonna pull one butt cheek back. Okay, I got one butt cheek back. That means my left foot here is further ahead than my right foot. And I'm gonna take my opposite arm and reach for the outside of that foot. Okay? I got that, I'm getting that through my calf and all the way up my hamstring here. Now I know that I'm tighter on this side, so I always spend a little extra attention on this side. My range is about the same, but it just doesn't feel quite as comfortable, so I spend more time on that, okay? All these are good. And then of course, we need to do a quad stretch here. Even after all that stuff, we hold our quad, and again, we're squeezing our butt. Our knees are lined up next to each other. Catch my balance. Okay, so knees lined up next to each other, and I squeeze my glutes in real hard, okay? So again, minute on each side. Again, make this your own, but definitely we want to start with that static stretching. We're addressing all the inner outer thighs, the back, and then you do your static stretching. Now do this, several days in a row. You could even do it twice a day until you come back into the gym. If you have any questions, let me know.